there guys, this is me Malorian, and this will be another War Machine battle report, and the fourth and final game of the October Brawler Steamroller I went to on the weekend. Now at this point, I am 3 wins and no losses, I'm looking great, and now there's just us 2 undefeated players. So across from me is my kind of club mate Garnet and his Crix. Now he is definitely a Crix specialist. I don't know if he's played anything other than Crix ever, so he knows the faction very well. And me going to Mark III, I'm not really sure of all the changes to Crix. I've only played a few different builds, and I'm sure there's a lot of tricks that are in there. So he decided to go here with Witch Coven. For my part here, I definitely knew I wanted to go with Thexus because it's the most forgiving. No matter what tricks he pulls on me, it's just cheap dudes, and I can try to help control things and come back. And yeah, this Witch Coven, I know there's some dudes in the front and stuff like that, but really my plan is get these jacks off the board, spray off the infantry, and then probably just go for a scenario thing in the end. Go over to my flag with Thexus and just kind of like hold them off for the win, but we'll see what happens. Now, one thing I gotta mention is that when I decided to do this 60 Drudge build to, you know, like I was asked by a fan that they want to see it, I did a little bit grudgingly because I knew my list wasn't ready. It wasn't painted, it wasn't arced, and worst of all, I'm basically doing proxies. So right now I do have the one ambushing unit of slavers. They're the gray models on the side there. But there's also the old models I'm using. Now the old models are garbage because even though they were originally put out as mine slavers, they're a mix of weapons and hands and guys with just 2 hands, and really the only difference between slavers and benders is that slavers have weapons and benders have hands. So because I don't have that other plastic bender unit, I've been using these guys, and the thing is that now that I'm up against an opponent who is Crix, he's probably looking across and like, those are mine slavers. Like when you bought them, the box said mine slavers. So the greasiness level on me, I'm feeling a little bit bad right now. Plus, Garnet is a guy that really plays by the book, plays extremely clean, to the point that when he was deploying, he went and forgot to put down his Scarlock, and so during my deployment, he was like, oh, I forgot to do the Scarlock. I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead, put it down. He's like, nope. He absolutely refused to put it down. It's just the type of player he is. And so, you know, you always want to hold yourself to a higher standard than your opponent, and already I'm feeling like garbage because I feel like I'm definitely not doing that. Alright, so with this, I won first turn, which is awesome, and I'm really just rushing up. I don't really feel that like my deceleration is going to do anything, but just in case, I cast it anyway. I put 3 focus on the left wrecker, 2 on the right one. They run up. And otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of expecting him to kind of like move up. I'll probably feed to get him to a good position and then start spraying things down. But Garnet really surprises me by just going full tilt to my face. Now, I should have thought of this, but the feat of the Witch Coven is that if you're not within 5 inches, okay, basically your line of sight is changed to be 5 inches. So if you're not within those 5, you can't shoot them, you can't charge them, all that good stuff. So he is going super balls to the wall aggressive against me, and that's a very scary thing. I mean, otherwise he has occultation up onto the Reavers. That part doesn't really do anything right now because of the feat, plus, you know, it doesn't really do anything with the stuff I have anyway. I think it's just a normal play he does. But yeah, this really cut me off guard that he was so aggressive. However, I do have some very good counters to what he's doing. One, I can just go up there with my overlords or benders, and when I do their spray, it specifically says it does not require line of sight. So I could have line of sight 0 and I could still spray. So I'm pretty sure they can go up and I can spray down a lot of the raiders on the right, maybe some of the reavers. I can spray down some of the banes on the left. So I can do a lot of damage to the infantry. Meanwhile, to his other stuff, I can use the benders to adrenal flood my guys, which not only gives them +4 mat and pow, but also moves them up 4 inches. And I measured it out, and yeah, when I move up 4 inches, I'll be within 5, and I can charge into some of his more juicy stuff. So looking at this, I can get some major stuff onto Deathjack. I could also trample up with the one wrecker as well, the left wrecker, and he could get in there and he could do some damage, because that's not a line of sight thing, right? You can always trample. But that's my plan, just try and kill as much as possible, and then just run away with Thexus just to be safe. So that's really what I do, and this turn goes a little bit weird as well. I mean, first of all, the Overlords go up, they spray, they kill a bunch of stuff, then I go and I Adrenal Flood, and I start going up and killing guys, and he uses Barathrum to come up at me and kind of like countercharge. And that was really weird. I was like, well, why would you want to do that? So, okay, that's fine. I was now in a spot where I could actually just advance and take him out with my wreckers. So Barathrum is gone. Deathjack only got 2 of the Adrenal Flooded guys onto him then, and so I was able to take out an arm, which is pretty nice, but otherwise you can see Thexus ran away. He did not do anything. He just kind of like topped up his guys with focus and ran to the left. Now this is a kill box, so I have to stay within that, but yeah, this was a pretty devastating turn. You know, he has lost a Jack already. He has lost almost all of the Banes. The Raiders are down to half. The Reavers, I killed 3 of the 5. So yeah, really, really devastating stuff. And then he starts measuring to me, and it turns out I am half an inch out of dying. Deathjack is half an inch of being able to just walk through my guys, go to Thexus, and of course kill me. I had no idea that this was another play that he could be doing. Again, this is the danger of playing against someone who's a specialist in their factions. They'll figure out a way to get through. So I got really lucky that Thexus was at the outer reach of where I could put him, and now we'll see what he does instead. So what he goes for instead is kind of a assassination, attrition type thing. So he has Deathjack come over, and he's able to destroy one of the wreckers and kind of heal up. But more importantly, he has the one arc node that has a nice little spot here on the left where he can get within range of Thexus and start going for a magical assassination. And it came damn close. You know, I thought I'd be okay with this. I thought I'd be safe. I didn't realize that the little witch coven was so good at trying to do a magical assassination, but I was down to 3 boxes. So if he just would have spiked at all, just a little bit, I would be dead right now. So being that that's the case, I just now need to make sure that I just take away all other options. Thexus can't really get away anywhere, but I can put a lot of things onto the arc node to lock it down. I can destroy Deathjack. I can just basically start destroying everything else. And, you know, the whole idea that if he has no models, I'm pretty safe. Otherwise, he did have one witch that did go over to his flag, so he is also winning on scenario right now, but we both realize that it's a short-lived thing. You know, I'm going to be coming in with my slavers there on the other side, and they're just going to be shutting that. So that's what I do. My slavers come on ambushing, and they're really going to do nothing but run to the flag. You know, even if those witches decide to come back and attack me, I don't care. I just want them staying away from me. I'm going to lock down the scenario till I kill the other threats. So that's what I do. They just run over. The one remaining Overlord on the right does a spray and just really destroys those raiders. So yeah, really the attrition's going great. Otherwise, what happened is I had a hell of a time trying to kill Deathjack. I thought the one wrecker by himself would be able to kill Deathjack, but no, I just kept on missing my attacks. I think I missed like 3 attacks. So in the end, I actually had to Adrenal Flood the slavers to go in and finish him off. Now, the original plan was to Adrenal Flood and go after the Arc Node, so instead I just threw guys all over the Arc Node. Of course, I sprayed down the last of the Banes too, but yeah, that was not really part of the plan. But hey, now almost everything is dead, and I should be 100% safe. However, he has another surprise for me. So basically, I thought this Arc Node was locked down good, but no, between the spells he's able to cast on it where it doesn't take free strikes and it can move through guys, he's able to get to me with the Arc Node again and then go for another magical assassination. Now luckily, because of the spells he had to cast, he was not able to do lots of big spells like before. Could only do one smaller spell. It did not spike, and so I live. But wow, you know, he keeps on surprising me where I think like, okay, he's done and out. Nope, he's almost killed me again. Now, a big thing I want to point out here is that he should have a Scarlock, remember? And if he did, the Scarlock could have cast one of these spells, and then he would have had more focus to actually finish the job. So again, because he's holding himself to a higher standard than me, he's basically going to lose this game. And I really felt like garbage because of that, and yeah, I'm going to have to try and do something about it. But either way, after this, he said pretty much the game's over. But we decided to go and try and finish it anyway. I mean, most players would say, you know what, let's just go and call the game now. It's done. It's over. But he said, no, what, let's do this as a teaching opportunity. Let's go and show you now how you'd actually kill this caster, because the Witch Coven's kind of a weird one, right? Where you can attack the little witches, and they're basically all solos, or you can also attack the orb, and the damage goes on to them. So another tip of the hat to Garnet for turning this into a learning moment for me, but basically all I have to do is Adrenal Flood a bunch of my guys, charge them in, and then at that massive match and pow, yeah, they just smash the orb, the damage goes over, kills the other witches, and there you go. So yeah, a win for me, so that's going to mean 4 wins. Clearly it means I'm going to win the event. I'm going to have a final thoughts video after, but yeah, this is one where I felt a little bit bad after. You know, when you have an opponent that holds himself to that higher standard, and you know yourself, you don't have arcs on there. Technically, some of your models are proxies. I really didn't feel good about it. Plus, this was a real mismatch for the list, right? Other than magical assassination or getting through Deathjack, I just had way too much stuff for him to deal with. So again, we're going to be more talking about the lists and all that stuff in the final thoughts, but there you go. So if you have any other thoughts on this game or anything like that, please post down below. But otherwise, we'll catch you later. Bye. Hey there, if you liked watching this video, please go down and give it a like down below you here. And if you have any concerns or questions or comments, please put those in the comment section as well. You know, the best way for me to give you what you want to see is if you tell me what you like seeing and what you don't like seeing. So otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.